All right, welcome to episode 18 of the Action Takers podcast. I'm your co-host, Nate. We got JC here, as always.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.
JC, how you doing?
Dude, I'm just thinking about like the amount of people we're talking to is pretty incredible. Like it's remarkable. If you had 6 people sitting in a room watching us talk for fucking 40 minutes or however long we do these shows, we would be pretty fucking proud of ourselves. But as you like look at the numbers and you're like, fuck, only 6 people watch this show. I had someone comment like, oh, you have a YouTube show. That's pretty cool. Podcast. That's awesome. How many listeners? Like a couple thousand? And I'm like, no, God, no. We're starting out. We're starting at the beginning. So I was a little down, but then I started looking over some of my notes. I take notes on fucking everything. But one of the notes from one of the creators is like, you should not give a fuck about the numbers. Like, just produce as much content as possible, good quality content, and fucking all those numbers will chase. They will all come. And if they don't, who gives a shit? You're not doing this for, to pay the bills.
Yeah, I think honestly, as far as episode count, we're already way past the average. We got to be in the top 20% by now. I mean, I think, most podcasts don't even last more than 10 episodes. So,
True.
Being at number 18, we're powering through. We'll be at 100 soon, 200, and who knows how many subscribers will be by then? Maybe a whole 12. When we get into double digits, and we'll just keep providing that great content, great value for everyone. Thank you to those who have subscribed. By the way, if you're not subscribed and you're clicking on this, you're a couple minutes in and like, who are these guys on? What are they talking about? Just, do subscribe, because then you can find out what we are talking about every week. Like, share, comment, review, whatever you want to do. Just, we appreciate it all. So if you can find the time, the couple 30 seconds out of your life, we'd appreciate it greatly.
We would greatly appreciate it. For the vanity numbers, I think so. I saw this study on Joe Biden, our president. They analyzed how many fucking Twitter followers he actually had, like real people, and it wasn't as many as they fucking thought. Like, it was like 50% of it was just bots. And dude, I was thinking about it, I'm like, how the fuck do I get 2 million bots to fucking subscribe to my Twitter? Like how do I work that out? Because if you have 2 million Twitter followers, like you got a hell of a business. Now, if no one's actually like speaking to you or actually interacting with it, it's not worth anything. But those vanity numbers, holy shit, Joe Biden. I mean, good for you, buddy.
Well, I mean, all of them now, whether it's Instagram or Twitter, like, you see them and I see these people like, oh, they got 20,000 followers. And I'll always, like you're saying, no, you check their latest post, it has 10 likes and no comments. So I'm like, I think a lot of those are those bought and paid for followers.
Dude, it's fun. It cracks me up. It's just absolutely crazy. And then, like in the world that we live in, like, social media is just so, it's just so everywhere. It's fucking every time. Like, my phone keeps dinging, and sure enough, I saw this TikTok. I don't know if you know who Adam Calhoun is. He's this rapper that's kind of like, he's kind of a hillbilly, and he's like, but he raps at the same time, and he says some shit that's just like, it's gotten him canceled like 100 times. Like at one point in time, like in like I bought tickets to go watch him in concert in the beautiful city of Sacramento, which is far left, canceled him. They're like, you're not performing in our fucking city. They like, and it was at like a country bar, like a fucking pretty conservative bar. And sure enough, they fucking canceled him. So anyways, I saw his video reacting to our president riding a bicycle. Nate, I've got a 3-year-old who knows how to ride a bike. Our president doesn't know how to fucking ride a bike. What the fuck is going on in this world?
I don't even know why he was on the bike, right? Like, what like, I've seen, these videos of him, like they do something for 5 seconds. So I don't know if they were like just down the road, like, hey, get on the bike and ride, pretend you're riding for miles and you're just going to ride this 30 feet right here. And I saw that video. I think just about everyone has seen it. He wasn't able to get his foot down, toppled over. It's just one of those
training wheels. Okay, we gotta get some training wheels. And fuck, what did you forget? Your feet were involved in this process. Like, you weren't pedaling with your hands.
I mean, we've seen slip on the stairs how many times walking into Air Force One. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's coordinating certain tasks aren't the best for a president. But yeah, I mean,
Dude,
it's been the talk.
dude, if I'm the president of the United States and this video comes out about me, I'm getting some lessons on a bike. But second of all, I'm making a video where I'm doing badass shit on a bike and just make this like a fluke, like, oh, that was fake. Like I would somehow hire some Russian, spy to come over and teach me how to fucking do a wheelie or a nose wheelie or a fucking 360 on a bike, or just crop my face onto the fucking another old guy. Get Tony Hawk or fucking Dave Shimurna or I can't name any professional bicyclists, but I don't know. Fuck. I mean, you just got to do something.
You definitely got to redeem. What I used to watch Tosh Point all the time, and he had a segment where you could basically redeem, whatever you messed up on. So he needs to just have, I guess, a redeeming thing, like you're saying, some tricks, either maybe like high speed down a hill or something. I don't know.
Dude, something. Oh my god, we should have jumped on the bandwagon with the falling down, because it seems like every video I watch, or reaction video, has hundreds of thousands of views. So I don't know. What do you think about those trends? What do you think about jumping on those things to get a quick, million views?
I mean, that's all it is. It's short-lived stuff, right? I mean, you got to make something funny. Obviously, it's at someone's expense, but I mean, it's just like anything. It's you can do it, and we'll get views, but you got to come up with more to not just be a one-hit wonder. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt. I guess any exposure is good exposure, right? I mean, even if it is a short-lived thing, get a couple 100,000 views on a meme or a meme video about something. So yeah, I mean, it's always a good thing for that exposure.
Dude, when I see those accounts that are like meme accounts or fucking like faceless accounts, I always get so pissed. I'm like, I took the fucking time and the courage to, get out here on fucking camera, show you my face, give you my name, fuck, where I live, like, and you fuckers are hiding behind some bullshit. But you have way more followers. I think there's two thoughts. Like, either start a meme account and it's a little bit more difficult to fucking monetize, or start a personal brand where it's a little easier to monetize with a smaller audience. What if you were gonna start over on social media? Would you chase some of these fucking meme accounts? Because it's not even like, when I think about memes, I think about words on a fucking picture. But nowadays, they've got accounts that do all kinds of crazy shit. Like, for example, like one of the accounts on Twitter was just tracking Elon Musk's jet. And when the Ukraine war started versus Russia, all of a sudden they switched. They went from tracking Elon Musk to all of a sudden tracking super yachts that were fleeing Russia, or fleeing these sanctioned areas. And I don't know, what is your thought process on that?
I'm going to just start a little bit on accounts and these numbers. How about these fake accounts of other people? Like I even, that have 1,500, followers. I'm like, how does a fake account of someone get these more followers that, and I even have, like, and they do it so quickly. I mean, like, so, cause people, report this person, or like, my gosh, like that's one thing that really irritates me, is seeing these fake accounts get so many followers, like when they're obviously fake, right? Cause you can let me just search this person to find the real one. Oh, that's the real one. And people still follow these fake ones. But on that, on top of memes, I mean, there's also these like one of them is like, nature, like animals doing crazy stuff in nature, or like like you said, or that one account that just tracks Elon Musk, or shark, all about sharks. Like, so I would probably, wouldn't mind starting one of these accounts that, whatever you're kind of interested in, just freaking post everything about that, because they tend to get a lot of traction. And you can't monetize them, because that's a one annoying on some of them, that like if they'll be like random ass videos of like, hey, this person paid me to get the exposure of my followers, and they're just like random ass, either like they're the Bitcoin or the
really shitty ads. That's
whatever those ads to make money on
ads,
Forex. the forex stuff. Like, hey, give me $1,000 and I'm going to give you 10,000 in a week. It's like, if it's so
Yeah.
great, why aren't you doing it? Why are you even contacting me? But yeah, so they do monetize them a little bit, but I think it is definitely the way to go if you do want to just get an account that builds up. Either do memes or do some sort of wild nature videos or craziest car videos. I don't know, skateboard tricks. I mean, there's all kinds of shit you can do.
Dude, so I was scrolling through fucking late night TikTok, and maybe it was YouTube Shorts, like one of those fucking ones. And I came across a guy who literally all he does is track sharks, okay, that have fucking tags on them. He's like, oh, I'm waking up today to really good news. Sunshine, the 80-foot great white is fucking traveling down south towards Florida. Like, it's really exciting. And I'm like, how the fuck does this video have 100,000 views? And it's literally not even the actual shark being like seen videoing. It's a fucking picture of a shark with like some data next to it, and it's got like a little tracker, and then it's got some ding dong in the fucking video talking about this fucking, Queen Latifah the shark is fucking headed south. I was like, that's what people are fucking watching. That's what frustrates me the most. Is like, I take all the time and thought of like writing down some valuable content, and most of the people just watch this bullshit. It's just fucking bullshit. It's literally has no value. It just fucking, and you know what? That guy probably makes $100,000 a month because you're probably donating to these fucking sharks, and he takes a fucking fee. That's what he does. It just, I don't know, frustrates me.
People want to be entertained, that's it's at the end of the day. I mean, TikTok, that's what it's for, right? Entertainment.
Oh.
So it either what you provide value or entertainment, right? Or I forget what the third thing is to have a good video, but
Dude,
yeah,
it's motivational. It's what is it? It's fucking the key to a great TikTok is educational, aspirational, and it's got to be entertaining. Those are the three things. But what only like would you see the fucking stupid, hey, we're here at the chimpanzee fucking enclosure tonight. I'm scrolling all those fucking videos. Like I'm addicted for like 10 seconds. I fucking hate it. I want that part of my brain to be fucking unplugged. Like I think at some point in time in the future, probably in the next 40 to 80 years, there's going to be able to there's going to be a switch where you just go back to like the 1800s where like you're fucking, I don't know, like you're what is that fucking thing called? You're like the thing that makes you like the dopamine hits. Like I think we're gonna fucking at some point in time, I think super wealthy people are gonna draw back those fucking dopamine hits, and it's just gonna be. I want to be a part of that dopamine like withdrawal because, oh, dude, it's crazy.
I mean, that's for some people, some of these accounts I follow, like that's all new rage, right? Like buy a piece of land, get all your sun, all your grow your own food, do all this stuff and unplug from society.
Yeah, you're telling me about the tan and butthole guy. He does that shit, right?
Yeah, he's big on just not having all these materialistic things. So teach their own.
What
a cool
okay.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just we're talking about accounts. A cool account that I found browsing on Instagram was basically it's like old motels, like the rundown, but they have pictures of it when it was like at its height in the 20s, 30s, the 60s, the 70s. There's some cool stuff like and then they show how it's abandoned today and all trash. But it's like, man, the time of some of these like hotels in the 60s and 70s, like just cool looking, like to kind of that nostalgia of like, man, look at how these things how nice they were, and really appreciating some of these things. So that's a cool account I found. Forget what it's called. It's like old motels or something, but it's just fascinating. It got me kind of interested of man, it'd be cool to rehab this old hotel, make it look like it was in the 60s or 70s, because they got these huge low count, like just the style of it is really cool, like how and at the time how that was innovative and what they had in there. So it's just where some of these today, they're just plain and boring and it's like whatever, but how some of them were pretty awesome.
Dude, I've stayed in a couple of those. They're still around.
Yeah.
There's one in Little Rock, Arkansas. That'll scare the fuck out of you. It'll make your skin crawl. Um, dude, some of those videos, oh my god, makes you want to go spend $1 million on fucking rehabbing one of these places and bringing it back to life. It's pretty cool. Like it's if I was gonna do that, I'd want to do that with like Airbnbs. I think that would be I think that's
Yeah.
one of my goals is to go find some really cool like views or situations or scenarios where like the fucking, there's something unique about this property. Like, how can we essentially, is it marketable? Is it
Yeah.
something that's going to catch your eye? And I think like shit like that, where, I don't know, like if you transformed a fucking old shitty hotel into like cool individual like Airbnbs, dude, I think
Yeah.
that'd be legit. I think one, and then I don't know, I think that'd be a cool draw. I don't know. I don't know if I would fucking do that, but I think someone
It,
should.
yeah. Well, it's cool too. Like they have some photos of like, oh, this how it looked in 2018 or 2020. And some of them, they just look like a time capsule. It literally looked like, and because it says when it closed down, like 1979, like boom, like you look at it and then everything is still there. Like boom, like it's 9 they just abandoned it. And it's just all the old furniture, all the stuff. It's just like, dang, it's crazy. And that's just sitting there somewhere in Connecticut, or it's all these back east Midwest states where a lot of these ones are. But it's just, yeah, it's fascinating. You rehab them, and obviously at one time everyone would go there, so he doesn't. People are into that. There are a lot. I think there's enough people, like you said, with the Airbnbs, and we're just making it a hotel or motel again. Of like, hey, this is a destination spot to come and do whatever stuff there is. So uh, there's money in everything these days. It's just a matter of getting the capital to do it.
Dude, it's so I was thinking about it, like, like the progression of your life, like things get, it just seems like, when you're young and you can stretch a dollar like so much further, like, but as you get older, like there are certain amenities that I just fucking enjoy. And a good hotel is one of them. I will give you that. It's you stay in some of these doozies and it's like never again. Like never again. Why am I putting myself in this this fucking hellhole? Like, but at the same time, like it got me thinking about, like quality of life and like, what we're chasing in life. And I think having a fucking pretty distinct plan or distinct, direction in your life, like what do you want your life to look like, and what are some of the amenities that you want to surround yourself? People say money doesn't buy happiness. It buys you a nice place to live. It buys you a nice place to fucking stay. It buys you a nice car to drive that maybe is a little bit more reliable than your 92 Honda Civic. It just, I don't know, like there's certain things in my life that I want to get to a certain point where I have different problems, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Uh, Side note question always. It is funny. I think it was Jim Gaffigan that said this, but talking about hotels and staying at nice ones. Uh, would you buy a used bed? Or he talks about, people won't buy a used bed, but they'll spend $200 a night to sleep on a used bed. So, that's always a great thing, right? Because you see
Oh yeah.
bed, like I haven't buying no used bed, but I'm gonna go spend, two, three, $400 a night to go sleep on one that thousand other people have already slept.
Dude, I'm the complete opposite. Like when we were furnishing our Airbnb, we were like, we can't afford fucking brand new mattresses. Like if we had to furnish a house with 3 Tempur-Pedic fucking mattresses, like it would cost
Oh
like
yeah,
$7,000 or $8,000 in just fucking beds. That's not even including the fucking box spring and the fucking frames and the
yep,
linens and all this bullshit. I Facebook Marketplace, bro. Fucking we fucking conquer some deals. We take care of it. Like we make sure
yeah,
one that they're clean. There's no fucking bed bugs or fucking ticks living in them. And then we go ahead and wrap them in a fucking like mattress protector, and then that's washable. And then we add new linens and stuff like that. But
yeah.
it just, yeah, dude, you're absolutely right.
It's sorry, just side note, I always want to get these funny things that pop into my head, before to add value to the people, you make them
Yeah.
think, that, would you uh would you rather, uh man, but you're right, going back to the man. Yeah, I mean, it is, whether it's just name your thing, food, right? I mean, you have money, you can buy steaks and and nicer food, or you can eat top ramen and Cheerios, or or no matter what it is, clothes. You can have more comfortable clothes. You can have, I don't care what it is, but yeah. So money does allow you to buy these things that do add to your, you know, happiness, yes, and just your quality of life. Like you're saying, having a car that's reliable, every morning is going to turn on and get you to work and get you to where you need to go. And there are a lot of things, turning on the light switch, power comes on, turn on the water comes out, like all these things that when you do live, yeah, because you can live in an apartment that has issues, or you can live in a nicer apartment. You can live in a house has issues, live in a nicer. I mean, yeah, every single thing from top to bottom in your life can money can buy you a little bit better quality, which adds to your quality of life. And I think, yeah, it does add to your happiness. I mean, who's gonna not be happy having these things? And you know, freaking, you can buy a jet ski. Is anyone never old Daniel Tosh joke? Have you ever
Yes.
seen anyone upset on a
Oh
jet
yeah.
ski? Like, so
Fucking ear to ear with smiles and just fucking, yeah, no, you're
yeah,
right.
but yeah,
It's dude, a jet ski, I mean, I've only ridden on a handful of jet skis, and I used to work at a place where we used to get to ride jet skis. And you're right, like that's some of the most fun things I've ever done in my life. Doing about 70 miles an hour on the water, just fucking doing donuts, just acting like an idiot. I agree with you. Um, it's one of those things that, like, but what are you willing to do for that money? What are you willing to do for those fucking experiences, or what are you willing to do for those materialistic things? And is there a number, or is there a point? Is there like a finish line in your eyes, or have you set out or drawn out a fucking map of like, okay, when I get to this point in my monthly income or my passive income or whatever it is, I'm gonna do fucking X. Is there an X for you? Because there's an X for me. I've got an X number, and I've got an experience that I want to go fucking accomplish. Is Do you have one, or should I go first?
uh, you could definitely go. I don't have one. I think because I feel like when I get to these next levels, I mean, I have things that I want to do, but it's always okay. Reach that, now I have a new one. So which, I mean, I'm sure you do too, where there's always
Yeah,
something else. But yeah, I
but
don't have like one over. I don't think overbearing X. Um, when I get to a certain number, I mean, there's just like I said, I just have my things that I want to get. As I progress.
So what do you want to get? You get a Ferrari? What kind of supercar are
Yeah,
you
no, yeah,
buying?
Lambo. But yeah, when it comes to the car, yeah, Lambo. That's on my list of things. Is one of them. Nice Rolex watch. As far as piece of clothing. Uh, yeah, so those are a couple of my you know near future things, and obviously there's just I have a wide range on my vision board of things that I'm trying to accomplish. So which I try and look at daily, and because I think
Yeah.
visualization. I started doing that too because a lot of people talk about visualization, right? Like spending 5-10 minutes of just visualizing these things, and really try and get in depth of like visualizing driving the car, or going into that house, or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, but really the details, and you doing that. So I've done it a few times. I'm just trying to. A lot of people talk about it, right? A lot of these people that have accomplished a lot, they talk about that they do this. So I'm like, hey, if these people that are multi millionaires and they're successful, and this is part of their daily routine, I'll try implementing that as well. Just hey, the brain is a powerful thing. They only know of, like, we only use like they say we only use like 5% of it. Something crazy small. So in our brain, it's like, okay, well, our brain is there. I'm sure there's other potential to do things with it. So let's just see what this visualization is all about.
Well, so I started doing that. I've got like a vision board, and I've got me and my wife have kind of I've got like a business one, and then I've got one for like our personal stuff. And one of the things that we did that I thought was pretty helpful is like what you're talking about, like the visualization, and then reading it daily, like understanding what you really want out of life. Because I think oftentimes people think like, oh, my dream is to have, X, or my dream is to go on that, 3-week vacation in Europe and do these certain things. But then they just go, oh well, maybe I'll do that, when I get enough money. But they don't ever put like a specific date or a specific time frame. And I think your brain, I think you're closer to your dreams than you give yourself credit for. And I think it's just about tricking your brain. Like it's crazy. Like some of the things that I've wanted the most out of life all of a sudden have just appeared. And it's weird because like we were talking about like TikTok and social media and stuff and the dopamine hits. Like we analyze so much more fucking information these days than we did 100 years ago or 50 years ago or 30 years ago, to a point now where we're fucking making decisions so often and we're just kind of like fucking numb to it. But when you put like a certain focus on it, and I'll give you like, for my example is like, I wanted to buy a storage facility. I had to pay cash for it essentially, or use some leverage. I wanted to buy a fucking lake house with a dock, and be able to like Airbnb it. I wanted a multifamily in case if the fucking world ends, I can live in one end and rent out the other, and I'll have some cash flow. These things just pop the fuck up. Like I go, I want to do this. I want to buy this. I want to accomplish this goal. And all of a sudden, like those opportunities were just fucking there. Like they just appeared, which is weird. But it's like, I think like scientifically, I think your brain, because I don't fucking know. I've just heard this shit. I'm not a fucking scientist or smart guy, but oftentimes like what you fucking dream about, you can actually make appear. Like it's there. You just have to sift through the fucking bullshit. And when you highlight those things, the bullshit just disappears and it's like fucking sitting there on a silver platter for you.
Yeah. It saying that, right? I mean, there's a lot of things like that we are bombarded with so much stuff that, yeah, when you sift through it and really focus on what you're trying to accomplish or trying to do or find, it is there. Whether it's a job, whether like you're saying a particular, if you're looking for real estate, if you're trying to better yourself or wanting to buy something. I mean, the things are there, the opportunities are there. It's just really focusing and honing in and being able to see them. And like the visualization does help, and spending that time and focus. Hey, this is what I'm really focused on. But yeah, it's crazy how certain things in life will appear or be there. You just have to be, when you find them, see them, and then be ready to take action, because that's another thing. Maybe it's there, but if you don't take that action, you're not going to start to whatever the steps are to get it or accomplish it, or whatever it may be. So yeah, it's definitely really seeing it and then taking action towards that goal or whatever it is that you're trying to do.
So it like one of the things, or like one of the great exercises for me at least, with the visualization and like seeing the future before it actually happens, is fucking golf. Like I don't know if I've talked about this to you before, but the coolest thing about golf is you have the ability. It's not a reactionary sport. Okay, so the ball's on a fucking tee, the ball's on the ground. You have time. It's not like someone's throwing it at you at fucking 99 miles an hour, where it's kind of instinct basis. It's you're playing a slot receiver position and you run across the middle. A fucking linebacker's gonna kill you. You just got to make sure you catch the football first and then make a decision. Either flop on the ground or get your head taken off. In golf, like, you have the ability to visualize what you're about to do, and if you clear your mind and commit to that, dude, it's shocking on how many times like I've spent, like, some of the best rounds of golf I've ever played in is when I've been hyper focused on every single shot. I've been hyper focused on every single swing thought or ball flight or what the putt's gonna do. Like, dude, it's crazy on how much better you are in life when you fucking have a very clear picture, a very clear action, and you play it through your mind a couple times, and then all of a sudden you just go execute it. But you're right. The one thing that you said that a lot of people have a fucking problem with is taking that action. Like, now's the fucking time. Like, if you see the opportunity, if you have the means, you got to take a shot. And sometimes the shot doesn't work. Like, sometimes you just fucking pull hook, shank it, you fucking brick it, you sprain your fucking ankle. But at the end of the day, like, the more shots you have, like, the more opportunities that you're going to be able to fucking succeed with.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we were, I think last episode we were talking about failures and stuff. And with that visualization, I feel like it works the other way too. I mean, there's those people that are always negative, right? Having these negative thoughts. Oh, I'm not going to be able to accomplish this. And right. And then when they set out to do whatever it is they're talk about, and they talk so negative, they don't want to accomplish it. Right. They're fulfilling what they're talking about. So I think it works both ways too. So you got to, whenever those negative thoughts creep in or that doubt, you got to really be able to turn it around and think positive and visual, like you're saying, visualize the shot, visualize what it is you're going to do, so you don't have that negative outcome. And you are going to have those negative outcomes. You're going to try and buy that piece of property, and someone's going to outbid you. You're going to try and whatever it is that you're trying to do, maybe a personal best, lifting weights or something. But those things that you might fail at, you're going to learn for next time. Okay, maybe I need to have more things in line before I put in the offer, or I could have done this or that to have a better offer. Maybe I didn't grip the bar right when I was trying to do my, personal best for a bench press, or whatever it is. So yeah, when you do have those failures, embrace them and say, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? And that'll just lead you to accomplishing those goals and moving forward and doing whatever you're trying to do.
Dude, I'm with you. Not, dude, I just thought about this. So like we're kind of venturing, like the economy is pretty much fucked. Like it's just like
full recession.
Like yeah, we're in a recession, and like interest rates are fucking through the roof. Like money's hard to get. Like people aren't spending money. It's a fucking not like Bitcoin. I saw Bitcoin at $17,000. I haven't seen it at $17,000 since 2017. And anyways, it just is shocking. Like when I remember back in 2008 let's talk about Lamborghinis for a second. The guy I worked for at the Dodge dealership is like, I've always wanted to own a Lamborghini, so I'm going to go buy one. And he went out and bought like a fucking 2-year-old one with like maybe 8,000 miles on it or something crazy low. And he's like, oh yeah, I bought it wholesale at auction for like 80 grand. This is a $250,000 car. Like I had the money, and some fucking guy lost it. The bank was auctioning off, and they took a fucking huge hit on it. And yeah. I think right now, like I think in the next 1 to 3 years, you have an incredible opportunity to fucking go out there and get the things that you want to get, and you're going to be able to get them at a fucking discount. You just got to believe in the process, and you got to believe in, yourself and the systems and the things that you put in place to make sure you don't fail. I think 1 to 3 years, I think there's going to be a whole transition of new wealth created, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get back to making more items or more products, because I think that's the biggest thing, right? And someone was talking about this earlier. I mean, really, what's hurting us is they printed all this new money, right? So there's the amount of money that was available almost doubled in the last 2 years. Then on top of, and then there's just nothing available, right? There's no cars. My girlfriend just bought a new car, and I went to a big, well-known dealership, and they literally had, like, no joke, maybe 20 cars on this huge lot. Like it was empty. I mean, you would think they were closing down, or it was closed. And they're like, yeah, that's just all the cars they have. So I mean, that's why I think it's just everything's gotten so expensive, because there's literally nothing. I mean, if you want to buy a car, yeah, you're going to have to pay for it, because there's just simple supply and demand, which is really just hurting things right now for everyone. So hopefully we start with getting more gas available, more oil drilled, and that can hopefully start that ripple effect of everything turning around in a good sense, for people to take advantage of things.
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those things, like the economy is going to do the economy thing. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Like the whole supply chain thing is fucking crazy. Like COVID fucked that up. Like it's still fucking it up. And and that's the thing, like, I think is so important, is like when the government starts doing certain things that are like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like, oh, it's for the better of the good. Is it the better of the good, or is it better for your fucking pocket? Now, like the car shortage is essentially to do with the manufacturing of these chips, these microchips that are going into the cars. they're stuck in Taiwan because they can't get fucking workers. They can't, because they have so many restrictions when it comes to this fucking killer virus that's going to murder 800 million people and it's going to be the next fucking plague, which it wasn't. It fucking just fucks it up. And it just seems like oftentimes when you put your money with people who are incentivized by not by any money, like, God, I feel like if we would have just trusted the wealthy people in this world, we'd be so much better off. We'd be way better off than trusting the CDC, where the head of the CDC makes fucking, $6,000 a month. Like I want to be taking advice from the guy who makes fucking $60,000 or $600,000 a month, not a guy who's making $6,000 a month. He doesn't have any fucking idea what's going on in the world. Like, he might, be super smart. It's just, I don't know. That's kind of my thought process on it.
It's going to depend, right? Because there's some people that are pushing a way bad agenda that I probably wouldn't want to listen to, or who are out there saying that, hey, there's going to be this baby formula shortage, and all of a sudden they got this synthetic baby formula already, or this vaccine because this thing's coming out. So there are some very wealthy people that I don't trust and don't want to trust because they have their own agenda or whatever that might be. But yeah, essentially though, these unelected people who are making our decisions for us, right? Like, all these people, see, these aren't elected people. So why are they in control of things? There's so many branches. The government has gotten so big, it's so big that there's all these people that are controlling things that they shouldn't. We have to honestly, reduce the size of the government so we can have more freedoms and more. We don't need a freaking department for every single little thing that there is. I mean, I don't know what the stats, but I know, like, in the last 10 to 20 years, the size of the government of all, whether it's at the city level to, the federal level, it has close to doubled. Maybe it's even more. That might even be light, but it's just, there's literally so many more people working in the government that it's, like, it's one of those things we got to definitely try and reduce it, because we don't need 30 different departments for every single little thing. Just too much control and too much, spending. That's where our tax dollars are going. It's grown so much. We got to pay all these people that we don't need.
Yeah, it's I will say, like I think the super wealthy people recognize, like, hey, they see problems and then they have the ability to solve the problems. So, like, a virus that's going to kill everyone. Well, we better fucking figure out how to make this fucking vaccine, because we're going to make fucking billions. Food supply shortage, chicken fucking farms are blowing up. Well, looks like we need to invest in some beef. It just, I don't know. It just seems like if we change that mindset a little bit, I think we can take advantage of the same fucking similar possibilities or opportunities. You and I probably aren't going to be able to solve the next fucking variant of COVID, but I think, if we kind of take that same framework and apply it to our lives, we can accomplish anything.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, do what the wealthy people do, not, what poor people do, right? Essentially, if you want to move that way. I don't know, but it's like the true thing of, like, what are they doing? They're investing their money. What do most people not do? They don't invest their money. So, it's one of those things, right? They're investing into assets. Very few people do that. So, even just that more basic stuff that everyone can almost do, buying assets, buying, things that go up in value, not things that, because we all do that, buying, obviously buying cars, TVs, buying whatever, all the quote unquote junk or things that we buy that are just depreciating and we're not getting any return on that, so gotta invest, gotta do the right thing. And if you want to change where you are, if you don't, I mean, it's all good. No one's going to be mad at you for it, but if you definitely want to change and be in a better spot, you got to do what the rich people are doing.
Well, I think you got to do it for not just yourself. You got to do it for your family. Like, one of the things that, like, motivates me the most is, like, if something bad happens, like, what is my kid gonna do? Like, how is he gonna pay the bills? He can't go get a fucking job. What am I going to rely on the rest of my family to take care of them? That's not their responsibility. They didn't have the fun to produce this human being. They weren't part of the party, and they shouldn't be responsible for fucking cleaning up the puke. But at the same time, I think I think the mindset of assets and liabilities comes down to making a decision. And I think making a decision about educating yourself on something that we just were never educated on. Like we're in high school and college, like no one taught us about fucking assets. No one talked to us about, investing in the stock market or investing in companies or real estate. No one fucking talked about that. No one even brought that shit up because everyone that I was listening to were a government fucking employee. Like they were employed by someone. They had a fucking boss, and that boss is like, "Hey, we don't need to produce fucking millionaires. We need to produce fucking workers. Okay, we need to produce the fucking guy who's gonna show up every single day, work their fucking ass off, and retire right before they die. They're gonna give us 40 fucking years, and that's just the best case scenario. And I think finding that higher education in a way that you can get a little bit. I mean, fuck, listen to us. Fuck, we talk about it all the time.
Well, yes. Unless it's a specific thing like a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, the college system, if you really do think about it, I mean, all it is it says that, hey, you're able to beat a class, take tests, write papers, and like the because when I really think about it, any of these super successful people, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, like anyone that created these companies, these innovators, they didn't finish college, right? There's tons of people out there, but they all hire these people that went to college. So I think Elon Musk said that. He's like, yeah, I'm not this or that. I could just hire someone to do that. So, which is a true thing. Like, I honestly, I am an advocate for not going to college. I do have my bachelor's, but when I look at it, it has not served me. I spent money and time in doing all this, and in reality, with where I've worked, all people care. Can you do the job? Can you provide value? Can are you providing us value in the company? Or, can you do the job for work for the government? Like it really didn't have a ROI, what everyone talks to. I mean, you spend this money, you can take out these loans. I'll give you all to take out these loans to a job you can get a job that's going to pay you half of what you took out on these loans per year, So it is crazy that I think the way the system is definitely broken because what are you paying for? You're paying for a piece of paper that everyone has now, a lot of people do have, so it's devalued in that way because I mean everyone has a bachelor's degree, and then second of all, it's what is it really saying? I mean, cool, I have a degree in business management. You don't need a degree in business management to run a business, right? And hire people. Like you can go and do that and start your business. So
Yeah.
So it is for saying, hey, this person knows how to follow directions. He's a good listener. But right,
Kinda.
Yeah.
I was watching fucking the US Open this last week, and some ad popped up for fucking Wichita High Desert fucking university. We're so proud of our graduates, and they fucking sent like a $5 envelope with their stupid diploma, and they're just, I've been working so hard for this degree. This is changing my life, and you see like the studio or the setup that they have, and he's in like a single wide trailer, and you're like, what the fuck? Like this guy easily could have spent $40,000 and put it in the stock market of Bitcoin or fucking bought 4 houses in the Southeast and made more fucking money. But instead, they're pumping this fucking advertisement about this beautiful piece of paper. I'm like, in my day, I mean, if you wanted a degree, I'll sell it to you. Okay, it's JC's fucking university. Okay, I'm gonna pull up fucking Canva. Okay, I'm gonna type in JC University. What major do you want? What education do you need to get whatever job you want? Because the jobs that I look at, like the job boards that I look at, where they have a certain, hey, you need a 5-year degree in fucking, in business management or fucking communications or social studies or fucking science. oftentimes those are the jobs that just fucking are never filled because the requirements are fucking it's not even relatable. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my take on, again, if you want to, if you want a free education, just let me know. I'll print you out one and mail it to you.
And not saying that it's bad that you go to college. No, it's good, right? Do experience that, whatever you got to do. But when you really talk about what you're spending, and that's the thing, they don't. They just, hey, here, cool, you're approved all these loans, and even that, college has gotten so much more expensive. There's, I follow my alma mater and see, and they were like posting. It's funny, like posting these positions, or this is our new this is our new that. And I'm like, man, that position, I know for sure that position did not exist when I went there, 7, 8 years ago. It's like I'm pretty positive those weren't positions. So it's like even that, right? What are you really paying for? You're paying for now. There's all these more administrators and people that run this program and that program. That is that really necessary? So you're going into debt to pay all these people's salaries for education that it's just not doesn't hold the value like it does. And like you said, in a thing that someone taught me, and I think it can be, if you don't think you have the qualifications, still apply for it because of that, right? Why a lot of them, or there's so many things, like they're not getting anyone. So hey, maybe they are going to take you with only 1 year experience of this thing, or you have some knowledge of something. Because right now, especially right now, where there are so many job opportunities for things, I mean, like every single place is hiring for something across the board of positions. So yeah, don't be afraid to apply for a little bit more than you think where you're at. If that makes sense.
Well, so on the college thing, so this is the way I think about it. I think the only value that you get out of college is if you go to an Ivy League. And the actual schooling itself does not fucking matter. I think you're paying for the connections to meet other millionaire kids. And because those are the innovators. Those are the guys or gals or whatever they are going to be fucking changing the world. Like those are the fucking, the scientists and the doctors and the fucking entrepreneurs who are literally going to change the world. And I think if you're going to go to, a state school and you're going to get your associate's degree in fucking communication and your bachelor's degree in social science, I think it's a waste of fucking time. I think it's a waste of time, a waste of money. Like you can go out there and get fucking real life experience way faster. And again, it's not some fancy piece of paper, but I think you get out of the mindset of, I need this fucking piece of paper, because you don't.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the top people in the world, whether it's speakers, whether it's they don't have that. It's listen to Andy Frisella's podcast talking about this. He said that he failed he was in college or something. He had a communication class or public speaking class, and he got like a D in it, right? And the professor said this or that, and then he's one of the highest paid speakers at these events. He's like, yeah. So it's like what so a professor told him he's not going to be a good public speaker, and yet he's paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to speak at events. So it's just there's so many examples. You can go on with all kinds of different people and experiences, and yeah, it doesn't. You are in charge, or you're in control of what you are going to be able to accomplish. You put your mind to it and say it, because you think that anyone asked Gary Vee, hey, before you speak, hey, do you have an education in speaking or whatever? Like it's Gary Vee or whoever these people are. Like
Gary Vee's going to tell them to go fuck themselves.
Like, but that's like, the point, right? Like yeah. It's to a point. You don't need it. So people care about value. Are you bringing them value? Can you, if you're working for a business, can you make them money? They don't care about what you've done. It doesn't matter. Can you do the job and provide value? That's what it comes down to.
Just like our fucking content. Okay. It's about motivation, aspirational, educational, or fucking entertaining. If you got one of those three, you're going to be just fine.
And if you did get one of those three, please give us a like, give us a share, comment, subscribe. Something. Oh.
It's funny. So like, gosh. I was watching this really famous YouTuber, and I was scrolling through his Twitter, and he tagged some other famous YouTuber, and he said, let's make a bet on who could make, who can make a video like the least amount. And his whole thing was like, I'm not going to make a video for fucking 9 months. And you know what was crazy? This fucker, he made one video, got millions of views, but then like 8-9 months later released another video, fucking got even more attention. It was just like, fuck, like it's just the narrative of like shoving content down people's throat. If you make good enough content, it's gonna find you. It's gonna fucking find you. So full circle, folks. Look at that, full circle from the beginning to the end. If you're not already subscribed or fucking share this shit, there's something wrong with you.
And if you're still listening right now, we appreciate you. This is probably one of our longest episodes. If you are still listening,
it definitely is. We've had to reset Zoom a couple times. So with that being said, Nate, really appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. Yep. And as always, so I've got this saying on my other podcast where I'm like, oh, as always, hit bombs, attack pins, and aloha press. I need to come up with a saying of like, all right, peace, later, bye.
As always, take some action.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.